Hey everyone, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. I'm here in New York City in an Airbnb the morning after the launch of the book, Bright Line Eating, The Science of Living Happy, Thin and Free. And I just want to say that yesterday was one of the best days of my life. I mean, before yesterday, my wedding day was the best day of my life, and yesterday was right up there. And a lot of that was because of you. You just showed up so amazingly. You flew to New York City for the live event. You watched the live stream. You bought a book. You bought a 14-day challenge. We've got all these, book sales that are logged, and hopefully we'll have a New York Times bestseller. And I felt amazing. It was just, one of those days, whatever, 15 minutes of fame. It was a sweet, sweet day. And so I'm super grateful to you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to actually record this vlog today on the topic of asking for help and receiving help. I feel like us in Bright Line Eating, we're not always that good at receiving help. Sometimes we're really, really bad at receiving help. And I'm thinking about a few instances of that. So at the book signing, there was just this long line, and I was spending some time with each person. They'd come sit and we'd take a picture, and I'd inscribe their book, and I'd always say, talk to me as I'm inscribing their book, and they're talking. And this one lady was like, I'm struggling with my Bright Line, Susan. I'm struggling, but it's just the food plan isn't quite working for me, and I'm gonna work it out. And from what she said, a couple words she said, it was pretty clear to me that she just needed some help tweaking her food plan. Just getting on a coaching call would solve it. And I'm not sure, but it sounded like she'd been suffering for months, maybe even more than a year, with a food plan that wasn't working for her. And by the end of our little conversation, she was like, okay, I'll hop on a coaching call. I was like, all right, you do that. And my guess is that in 5 or 10 minutes, me or my staff will get her food plan straightened out, and she'll be on the road again, solid, good. I'm also thinking of an instance this past week where I flew to Los Angeles for a taping of The Doctors, which is a TV show on CBS. The air date will be sometime in April. I'll let you know with an email to the list when it's announced. I don't know yet when it's going to air, but my food got wonky on the way because it was the time of the Baha'i fast, and I love the fast and I wanted to keep fasting, but that's not wise when you're traveling. So I decided that instead of switching around my food, I would keep my food the way it is during the fast and just drink water and hydrate and stuff. And as I landed in Los Angeles, my whole system was like, oh no, I'm eating lunch. I'm not skipping lunch today. And I ended up eating lunch, which was fine, but I'd eaten a bigger breakfast that was supposed to hold me through lunch almost to dinner. And suddenly I was in my head in a swirl of my food fell off, and I lingered in that state of inner turmoil for 3 days. 3 days before reaching out to somebody and calling Lyndon, my buddy, and just being like, oh, Lyndon, my food feels off. And she got me squared away in 5 minutes, and I was good to go. And I don't know why I let myself stay in that state of needing help and not asking for it. So, this book just came out, and the reality is that this book would not exist if I hadn't asked for help. I asked for help with a professional writer to be my writing coach and help me assemble all the pieces of everything into a book. I asked for help last night for the live event in New York City. Nat Denkin and Nancy Wolf, John Uzzini worked overtime to help me assemble an amazing talk. And I was really proud of it when I got up to give that talk, but I did not do all that. All of us, with Lynn Colston as well, getting case studies, we've been working for weeks on that talk, and a lot of it was done by them. They were chasing down references and just helping so much. And in 3 days before the talk, I reached out to them and I said, could you help make PowerPoint slides? Because I don't know that I'm gonna have much time here. I'm looking at my time, it's pretty slim. Could you start to throw together some slides so that, just help me, I need help. And I think that receiving help, learning how to receive help, is learning how to receive help and ask for help is just an essential rock star Bright Line Eating component of learning to be unstoppable. The reality is nobody does amazing stuff by themselves. We all do it with a little help from our friends. And So I'm gonna sign off now. I'm here in New York City. I've got a big day. I'm gonna go have lunch with my team and dinner with my husband tonight and some interviews on national this, that, or the other along the way. And the whirlwind continues in my world, but the reality is I'm not doing any of this alone, and I don't want you to do it alone either. Like, really, sticking with bright lines is something we need to do in community, in my humble opinion. So if you've got a buddy, if you've got a mastermind group, if you're in a Bright Line Eating Facebook group with the boot camp or whatever, just, ask yourself, am I receiving the help that I need? Am I reaching out for the help that I need? So that's the weekly vlog. I'll come to you next week back in Rochester, New York with my red background behind me. But thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here with me on this journey. I love you, and have a wonderful week.